member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Texas Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne joins me. Good evening, Congresswoman. And I want to go to your questioning of Kevin Morris because we've now seen the transcript. You asked him about the artwork he purchased, Hunter Biden's artwork. Was there anything unusual about it, or was there anything? Did you get your answers?
Well, no, not at all. I mean, it was apparent, this man just met Hunter Biden and he said he felt sorry for him. And as a result, he hired him a PR company. He was paying for his lease. He paid off his cars. He paid off his IRS loans. When asked a number of times, how much money did you loan him? He didn't have an answer. When asked when were those loans due, he didn't have an answer. Well, in addition to the money that he claims that he loaned him, my question was, because he had made an offhanded comment that he was an art collector. I said, did you ever buy any art? He said, yes. But when I asked him how many pieces of art he bought, he said it's complicated. When I asked him how much he paid for the art, well, it's complicated. We could not get a straight answer. It's apparent after just a few weeks of knowing Hunter, he was loaning him money. And I'm sorry, but I don't know how many attorneys have ever actually put together loans and didn't know when those were due or how much they paid. It didn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, look, and it's like, the peculiar thing to me is you don't lend $5 million to someone who doesn't have a job and who's got a drug or alcohol problem. Maybe lend him $100 or give him $100, but the loan is exceptionally high. But what I don't see in the transcript so far, what I've been able to see, is there anything to connect it as being sinister or connected to the President of the United States? It may, it's an odd loan to Hunter, I'll give you that, but is there anything to connect it to the President?
Well, I mean, it was obvious, as a result of his relationship with Hunter, he was able to get direct access to Joe Biden. When he first met Joe Biden.
To what end, though? Because I know that he went to the White House a couple times, but everybody in town goes to the White House. Somebody's in the White House, so you get a tour in the White House. We all done those tours. But is there anything sinister or suspicious or anything like that?
This is why we're investigating. You're connecting the dots and following the money. There were some other questions, as you may read from the transcript, about some of his business dealings and whether or not he needed the vice president's cooperation, potentially president's cooperation, in any of those policy issues that had to do with some of his personal business dealings. That remains to be seen, and that's one of the reasons why, as you see, House Republicans that are looking and examining the business partners of the president's son and of the president's, and finding out where did this money go, what was the expectation for it. We have seen dozens of shell companies. We have seen millions of dollars being able to be put from these shell companies directly into Biden family members' pockets, and then it would appear that the president's getting a cut of that. Whether or not it's through, quote, loan repayments that we can't seem to find out where the original loan was, or some other means necessary where bills are being paid correctly.
All right. Well, I think it's absurd. I heard that he thought, that Congressman Raskin said that there's going to be a balloon payment after the race. There's no way that he's going to make a balloon payment of $5 million after the race. I mean, the guy still doesn't have a job, and his artwork isn't selling like hotcakes. That's totally bizarre. But what I don't know is that maybe it's an expectation. He thinks he's going to get something. But I think sort of at least at this point in the investigation is I don't know if where this is going to lead. But it's peculiar. I got to admit that.
No, you're right. It's absolutely peculiar. There has to be a motivation other than him simply feeling sorry for somebody to give them over $5 million.
Could be stupid, though. Could he think that he was going to get access and never got it? It's still. Whatever's in Kevin Morris's head or Hunter Biden's head may not have any reality in connecting the president. That's what I'm looking for, is the nexus to the president.
Except when you start looking at all. When you start looking at all of the different people that Hunter Biden has worked with, who he has promised some type of relationship with Joe. And Joe Biden had said that, no, I didn't have any kind of contact at all with any of Hunter's business partners. And then you find out, yes, he absolutely did. How many of those exist that we don't know about yet? And this is why the House members are doing their job, basically the DOJ, the FBI, and the IRS, that they have not done to try to uncover the exact answers to the questions you're asking.
I'm going to throw one out. You can take the last one. But for the life of me, I still don't understand why Tanya Chutkin, the federal judge here, is on this case when there was a 4-year period when she was at a partner at a law firm when he was of counsel, and why she didn't recuse herself to avoid even the appearance of impropriety. I don't understand that. I mean, that to me is like, I don't even, with all the sort of things that are swirling around about political favors or even, false allegations or true allegations, I don't know why these people don't back away, because they're just creating more problem as we try to sort this out.
It's gone on for years where there's been no accountability and they've been able to get away with it. That is why they feel like they are untouchable.
Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Greta. Have a great day.